I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drum's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soared into the light.
Oh my God, thank you, Trexie. I've been talking for all this time. Couldn't have been worse. So my apologies. I've been talking all this time, and the microphone was off. My bad. I forgot to check the microphone. So again, guys, welcome to this iconic flight. This is the famous Flyer 10, the venerable Boeing 707. This is the Boeing 707-320C. The C stands for Combi. This is a cargo and passenger combi aircraft, which means that it can carry both cargo crates or cargo pallets and as well as passengers. Now, this is a very specific airplane, the last developed by Boeing. The 707 was built between the 1950s and late 1970s. This is the last aircraft to come into production, the Combi. Now, the Combi was a very clever solution for most airlines that really wanted to make this plane fly indefinitely because it could carry the emerging air cargo business as well as the passengers. These are the most famous engines. These are the revolutionary JT3D by Pratt& Whitney. These engines, if I'm not mistaken, were developed for the B-52 bomber originally, but they were adapted for the commercial role here with the 707, or it was the other way around. You guys know history better than me. You can figure it out. But these are amazing engines, and you notice that they're very small in diameter. That's because it has a high bypass. This is a low bypass. So this is an old school design. Most of the air will be rammed through the engine, through the various stages, and expelled from the back. There's only a small bypass there, so low, very low bypass air. Nowadays, the engines are bigger in diameter, but actually the core of the engines are not that big. It's just the high bypass they now offer that makes them bigger. But look at this. Not only is it small in diameter, it's actually pretty long. And we this design is so old school. It's no longer a thing to see such a long engine. And you can see how far it stands on its pylon. It's amazing. It also has these vanes, these intakes, and as well as some characteristics that have been developed over the years. But overall, you can pretty much recognize a turbofan engine when you look at it. And it has four, but don't expect high performance from this aircraft. Today we're taking it from Hawaii, from Honolulu International to San Francisco, and in real time it would last for 4 hours. We're not going to do 4 hours and 50 minutes actually. We're not going to do that. We're going to compress time as we go. But yeah, it was, I mean, it wasn't going fast anywhere. But considering that before this, you only had uh, turboprop engines and prop engines actually, not turboprop. Turboprop appeared later. So piston engines, oh, that guy doesn't have any landing gear. It's because of the LOD. The landing gear will show up eventually. Anyway, we're not here for him. Like I was saying, compared to the prop engines prop aircraft that existed at the time, I mean, this was lightning fast. But in modern days, come on, there's better things out there. This particular aircraft is the Pan American, so Pan Am. Pan Am was one of the largest operators of the 707. It was actually a delivery airline, so they were the first to fly it commercially. And other significant operators were, of course, TWA, a bit later than Pan Am, and many other international airlines, including, for this particular variant, American Airlines, TAP Portugal, for example, they didn't have many planes, but it did operate the 320C, just exactly this plane, actually. And yeah, it was an amazing aircraft. It gave birth to the modern day jetliner aircraft, and it revolutionized flight for sure. And to this particular aircraft that you're seeing here in Flight Simulator, you might have heard it before. I don't know if I'm repeating myself since I began the stream with my microphone off. You might remember it from another aircraft company. back in 2024. This was when it was originally released by Asobo and Microsoft, but back then it was developed by Aeroplane Heaven. Let's just say the appraisal wasn't good. I mean, the plane was received with very poor um, reception, and for that reason, it became like a worry. How would Microsoft was worried that it wasn't depicting a famous flyer as it should, so they decided to give it again another go. And this time, it wasn't just an update. They decided to rework the entire plane, and that's when they turn around to Working Title and Inibuilds. Working Title, of course, famous for their avionics and their cockpits and their amazing in-depth simulation, and Inibuilds known for their looks and the optimization, 3D modeling. And really, if you look at this airplane, even though it's an oldie and there's a lot of stuff that's gained some rust, um, it is still an amazing feat and an amazing 3D modeling by Inibuilds by far. You'll get your money worth, to be sure. This is only $14.99 USD, only $15, and it's worth every penny. And I think that it's a bargain, and you'll see why. You'll see this during this flight why. So guys, let's jump in. We wasted too much time with Microsoft Inibuilds, sorry, Microsoft and Asobo wasting so much time to bring this plane to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So let's do it right now. Let's fly it and let's put it to the test. All right, this is the flight deck and welcome. This is Betsy, you know her. All right, so first of all, let's have a good look at this cockpit. And of course you have the pilot and co-pilot, but you also have this thing here that's always scary to see. One particular thing I found funny, it's not next to the wall. You have a large room here that you can actually store stuff. You can actually store like the pilot's bags and all that. It's crazy. And you also have this other seat here. This is for the navigator. And when the plane started operation, the navigator was already a dying breed, because this plane debuted a lot of new technologies. One of them was the INS system, so navigation became reliant on automation, and thus this seat here eventually was doomed to end. The first ever 707s, I'm not sure if they had INS systems, but they probably navigated using VOR and ADF, probably. But later on, the INS became a thing, and so this seat became obsolete. But not the flight engineer. The flight engineer is part of the core of the aircraft's operation. It is fully functional, but don't worry, there's an automation. You also don't have to worry about using INS, because look at this. There's an optional FMS system, which I'm going to use today because I'm going to fly in a very busy modern ATC environment, and I do need to operate with SIDS and stars. But you can also operate with the INS, manually inserting waypoints, and it actually can import SIDS and stars as well. So there's an option here. There's a lot of options to modernize this airplane a little bit, but still make it feel like an old school aircraft. So don't worry about either being a purist and not able to fly an old schooler, or by being a modern guy and not being able to fly an old schooler. So first of all, guys, Andrew, Drexy, of course. Drexy, thank you so much for helping me with the microphone. And we got Sten Nguyen. Hi, well, welcome to the channel. You're under severe thunderstorm? Oh, all right. I hope everything goes well, Stengoyan. I think I'm murdering your name. I'm sorry. So first thing first, before we powered it on, let's look at here at this modern piece of equipment. This is, of course, the well-known Asobo tablet, and you have a lot of features here, including the Navigraph chart, Simbrief dispatch. You can use this tablet universally in Flight Sim. In fact, you can load it as an independent panel, as you know this pretty well. However, this plane comes equipped by default with it right here. And it's a good thing it does that, because of course this plane does not have like electronic flight bag integrated. So if you have a Navigraph subscription, you can of course load your Navigraph charts, which will be very useful for this particular flight. And of course I need to sign in. Always something happening. You can also load your Simbrief. We can actually take a good look at our flight plan for today. Why must I sign in? It's constantly losing the credentials. All right, I'm signing in right now. All right, now it's back online. Here we are. Definitely not here. We are in Honolulu. There we are. All right, and now I can even load my flight plan here. So I need to go back, unload, import from Simbrief, and this is the one. And here we are. So this is the flight plan for today, coming out of Honolulu to San Fran. It's actually the closest flight you can make out of Honolulu. All the other flights are a bit far away in terms of, big airliners. There's one to Tahiti, and I was considering Tahiti for a moment, but no, it's just too small of an airport. But and also New Zealand, there's Tahiti there, and New Zealand, of course, but it's farther than San Fran, to be honest. And so I decided to go to San Fran, which sounds and looks way better. We are, of course, at Honolulu International, and this is a very interesting airport. It's actually a courtesy of Inibuilds, and what's going on? All right, it's actually a courtesy of Inibuilds, and they supplied this little scenery for our little flight for today, because we're flying one of their aircraft, and we wanted to fly in style. So we requested that if they had the chance to give us a chance to fly on one of their airports, and yeah, Honolulu it was, and Honolulu it will be. All right, so let's go back into the cockpit. There we are. All right, so let's power it up. We want to hear that old school noise, don't we? So first thing first, we're going to turn on the battery. And here we are. Let's put some sound in here. All right, here we go. We got sound. And so, yeah, this is a very noisy cockpit. These are mainly the gyros turning in the back. So even modern day 737s will sound almost like this. Or if you have an old school standby ADI on the Airbus, you will listen to this, like on the A300, for example, or even on the CEO A320s. You'll hear this rattling. These are the gyros working. And now, coming back here, let's look at our flight plan. And again, this isn't. Maybe I need to close the dispatch. Oh, sign in. Not again. Something's wrong with Simbrief, as it was with Navigraph. I can't even sign in. That's not good. Well, we do have the flight plan here on Navigraph, so I'm not sure what happened with Simbrief there. So first things first, let's look at our GPS initial data. So we have 3 September of 2026. We'll accept that. Now let's go to flight plan. There it is. So we are at Honolulu, but now we need to insert the flight plan manually. So don't think this is just positive stuff. There's always going to be, with these old school aircraft, even though you have an FMS, you will need to load your flight plan manually. So we come here, not a lot of flight plan waypoints for this particular flight, but we still need to insert the data. And so let's go here to routing, get our routes. There it is. So we're going out of runway 04 Romeo via MKK5 to Kolia, then direct to Klutz, then use airway R465 to Cine, Pirat 3, and then run at, this is the star for San Francisco runway 28 Romeo. So let's insert the data now. So first things first, we're going to insert this Kolia. That's one of the waypoints of the, so Kolia, enter, that's the one. Then direct to Klutz, CLUTS, enter, accept. Then to, well, I'm not sure if we can insert this airway, but let's try. I've actually never tried this, so let me see if it will go. So it will be Clut R465. No, we cannot. So let's go back. Let's go to direct. So we're going to direct to Cine. So when you're prepping your flight Simbrief plan, be sure to understand this plane may not take airways. So I was kind of your guinea pig here. Thank me later. And then going to Pirat 3 to KSFO. So now we're going to insert, actually we need to insert the SID. So it's going to be MKK5. Oh, hold on a second. I really wish there was a way to import the data. Alright, SID. Oh. There's no way to insert my SID? That's odd. So PHNL to Kolia, Klutz, Cine. We can hold. There's also the heading, command heading 309. But I need to get my SID in. Direct. This is a whole, oh, this is direct too. Oh my god. This is such an old school system. I need to look at that in a moment. So let's go for the weights of the aircraft. So we're expecting an estimated 261.5 takeoff weight. Zero fuel weight will be 122.6. 192.6. Oh, number of packs. Good question. $163. Now as for cargo, payload is 37.5. By the way, you can only use where's the point? You can only use pounds for this flight. I'm going to insert the entirety, so 37,000. Zero fuel weight. Alright, as for the gross weight, so 0 fuel weight, 192, no, 192. Doesn't allow me to insert that. Why? Because of the cargo. So the payload should be, oh, it's 9. So payload, it's 9,000 pounds. Whoops, too much. Alright, now the gross weight is more or less. Yeah, 192, so it's 267 with the 0 fuel weight at 188. Still a little too light. As for the fuel, we got to insert here the reserves. So FinRes is 511.4. So alternate fuel is 6182. Hello. 6182. And hold. So it's going to be contingency is 29905. 2955, not 2995, 2955. And extra is the FinRes 5114. Golden. Actual reserves is 14. Yeah, it's the sum of these three plus trip. Yeah, fuel on board 79. It's way too much. It should be 68,906. So 68. So it's pounds. Why is it in liters? Kilograms. Hold on. Should be in pounds. Pounds. Done. Let's go back. So fuel should be block fuel 69.7. So 69 point, yeah, it's a little bit more. So 78% or 79% then. I wish I could just insert what I wanted here, but it's not possible. Alright, it's good enough. 65 should be 68 actually. Let's go back here. 68. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, load the aircraft, load immediately, done. As for the seating, we got 114 passengers, should be 163 for some reason. We only have 114 seats, so let's keep it there. As for cargo, we should, it's exceeding total mass already. So let's not do that. So 25% MAC. Right, fuel on board is now 121. Should be a lot less than that. Something's not right with the weights here. It's, I think it's not me. I think I'm doing the right thing here. So again, 68, that's still in liters. That's why. It should be in pounds. Oh my god. Alright, so 121, yeah, it's correct now. 128,468. Alright, now it's correct. As for the cargo, we should look at our cargo here because it's now it's going to be different. So it should be 8,000 pounds or 9,000 pounds. 9,000. All right, 9,554, 9,554. All right, that's good. 9,549. All right, good enough. So 0 fuel weight, by the way, let's see. So empty mass 148.3. It's way up. 163, yeah, because of the number of packs. So it's gonna be 114. All right. Now it's more or less what we got here. So still a little on the heavy side, but I think that's good enough. We should be paying close attention to the center of mass, of course, of these airplanes, old school aircraft. Oh, what's going on here? All right, so we're good to go in terms of performance, at least. This is going to be calculated in flight. All right, so as for the nav, so I'm a bit concerned about this navigation here because it didn't allow me to insert the SID, the SID. Not sure why. Should be easily inserted by using the waypoint data. So MK, unless this is not MKK5, could be. I'm misreading it. Yeah, it looks like MKK5. It doesn't look, I was misreading it. As for the runway, it will be runway 4 right. Can we insert that? PHNL 04. All right. Is it going to accept that? No. All right. All right. All right. All right. So hold on a second. From PNHL. What am I missing here? Where's the... So I came here and then I can't load any SIDs and stars. And I don't know why. None of these work unless... Yeah, VNAV not working, flight plan very basic. Yeah, don't expect more than that. I think the INS system is the best way to go because it is more fleshed out. This thing appears to be a little far-fetched for this plane, although they claim, Asobo and Microsoft, they claim that the real plane did operate with an FMS, but this is a very rudimentary and limited FMS, as you can see. Thus, it will not work as intended.
Boarding requested.
Alright, boarding requested. Let's use... None of these exist anymore, but let's use your American. You can hear the main doors opening. So apparently Jay's plane is acting up. Now can you work, please? Still not working. Alright. Thank you, Chase Plane.
There are no passenger stairs. You will not see passengers visually.
Yeah, these gates will probably not work with this plane. But they are boarding, don't worry. Not close enough to any door, using stairs instead, but the problem is that this particular gate does not have stairs. So yeah. So what's going on with Chase Plane today? It was working fine up a moment ago. Alright. Yeah, look at that, it's not working correctly. It was working a moment ago. I mean, I was looking at my stuff and it was working. Now it's working again. Alright. Apparently only the external
Passengers
cameras
bus is coming.
are locked. This one is locked, apparently. Not sure what's going on. Thank you, Chase Plane. So passengers are being loaded into the aircraft, and we'll have a tour with the cabin. But now you would think, well, what about the engineer? Well, guys, don't worry. This is the app for this airplane, and as you can see here, it has a flight engineer dedicated tab. What does this do? Well, it pretty much automates everything the flight engineer would perform in flight, including switching and managing all the aircraft systems. So we're going to tell him to run the cockpit preparation, and it's going to run the checklist by voice, which is going to be amazing.
Cockpit preparation checklist. Battery switch. On. Landing gear lever. Down. Emergency flaps. Guard closed and off. Landing lights. Retracted and off. Weather radar mode. Set to off. Transponder. Set to standby. Galley power. Off. AC auxiliary pump.
APU is starting, that's why it paused. Let's take a look here at our weather on the D80s. So we got QNH.
APU is started. APU generator.
Where's the QNH?
Flight recorder. On.
Oh, there it is. It's American.
valve.
Haha, keep forgetting.
Open.
So it's inches.
Airspeed warning.
So let's 3.
Tested.
Our
Mach
cruise
trailer.
altitude is
Tested and on. Testing engine oil quantity gauges.
flight level 370.
Tested. Door warning annunciators. Tested. Essential power selector.
Although we'll
Set
set
to
it
APU.
for the
External power.
transition
Turned off.
altitude,
Air conditioning. On. Radio
which
master
in the
switches.
US is 15,000.
Spoiler and rudder test guards. Closed. Engine start switches. Off and guarded. Passenger signs. Is on. Wing
Passenger
engine
signs.
lights. Set to off. Oxygen switch. Set to normal. Window heat. Set to low. Probe heat. Tested and off. Navigation and wheel well lights. On. Turbofan exit valves. Set to normal. Fuel dump chute. Closed.
Passengers boarding
Galley
stop.
power is on. Fuel heaters. Off. Fuel temperature selector. Tested. Testing fuel quantity gauges. Tested. Testing fuel boost pumps. Tested and off. Testing crossfeed valves. Tested and open. Reserve tank transfer valves. Closed. Engine 2 and 3 hydraulic shutoff is closed. Engine 2 and 3 hydraulic pumps on. Checking hydraulic pumps and pressure.
Alaska 1045, turn right, heading 030.
Turn right, heading 030, Alaska 1045.
Wing isolation valves. Open. Crew oxygen. 100% and on. Cockpit preparation checklist. Completed.
All right, it's complete. Let's request our
Southern
clearance.
462, ready to copy IFR clearance to Lanai.
South 462, Honolulu clearance. Advise you have Juliet cleared to Lanai Airport. Pale tree departure, Pale transition, then as filed. Maintain 4,000 feet. Departure frequency 124.8, squawk 3100.
Cleared to Lanai Airport. Pale tree departure, Pale transition in as filed. Maintain 4,000 feet. Departure frequency 124.8, squawk 3100, South 462.
South 462, read back correct. Contact ground 121.9 when ready for start or taxi.
Ground 121.9,
Waiting for our turn.
462, have a good morning.
Honolulu clearance, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, date Charlie 4, ready to copy IFR clearance to San Francisco Airport, with information Juliet.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, Honolulu clearance, cleared to San Francisco Airport. Molokai 5 departure, with the Kolea transition, then as filed. Maintain 4,000. Departure frequency 124.8, squawk 2536.
Cleared to San Francisco Airport. Molokai 5 departure, with the Kolea transition, then as filed. Maintain 4,000. Departure frequency 124.8, squawk 2536, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, read back correct. Contact ground 121.90 when ready for push or start.
Ground 121.90 when ready for pushback or engine start. Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
All right, so we got the transponder in. We have just been cleared for 4,000 feet.
462, taxi for departure.
Southern 462, runway 4 right, taxi via Charlie.
Runway 4 right, taxi via Charlie, Southern 462.
All right. Unfortunately, I cannot follow that star, but I will be able to follow here on the pad, and that will enable me at least a visual confirmation of what I'm doing. So, yeah. This is the information, and here's the departure. So, we were supposed to follow MKK5, which is very confusing to find on this. So this is a Molokai 5 departure, but where am I supposed to go exactly? This is the Molokai VOR. So I'm going to insert this MKK VOR here to give me some level of aid.
Passenger's bus is coming.
What's going on here? Let's see, MKK. Yep, that's the Vortec. Alright, so now we got a new waypoint here at Molokai. And then we should be heading to Kolea. So out of Molokai to Kolea, it's a direct route. We have Sepke in between. So, Sepke. And there we go. So we should be able to follow the SID now, which is always good. Alright, so we are good to go. We're going to have this little thing to guide us, but we are to, after takeoff, follow directly to this SID. So what I think it could happen is a right-hand turn towards it, and then it's probably for the best. But I'm not really. I usually fly in Europe, and I've never seen a SID like this with interrupted data. So there's no direct link between the airport and the initial SID, unless of course there's other charts for this particular takeoff, but I don't think there is. So we will be taking off from runway Just filter traffic here. We will be taking off from runway.
Strata 462, contact Honolulu Tower 118.1.
Contact Tower 118.1, Strata 462.
Probably 04 Lima or 04 right. We are right here, so probably either 4 Lima or 4 right. I'm not heard on frequency. DATs here will tell us arrival runway 04 left, right, left. Departure runway 04 left, 04 right, 08 left, 08 right. So either these two or one of these two. But it didn't tell me which runway was active actually. It just told me to depart via MKK5 with the Korea transition. As filed, we have filed our flight plan using runway 04 left, but I'm not sure if that's the one we'll be given. We'll have to wait and see. In any case, the FMC is now a little bit more complete, so it gives me a little more.
Passengers boarding starting.
Gives me a little more comfort in the belly. Now, as for the runway, it's going to be 042, so we're going to set our heading 042. So this is 0412, done. 042. As for our heading, we'll be manually flying for this departure anyway. Gonna set our standby radar, and autopilot is set off. Flight director will be set to heading first, and as well as our
Alaska
autopilot will be
1045,
set to
taxi to
heading.
gate Echo 6 via Sierra Alpha
I'm
Yankee.
gonna turn on these
Taxi to gate
radios.
Echo 6 via Sierra Alpha Yankee, Alaska 1045.
So all these radios we turn off. Actually, we can turn off squelch. So as for the preparation, looks good. The flight engineer will conduct all the tests as you heard. So no point. So we do have a lot of light knobs on this plane. It's actually crazy. You have a red light or a white light. So what I'm doing is just making sure if we hit a dark spot in the weather, we can still check our instruments. Just make sure you don't light up the red light, otherwise it will be it's fun, but it's not necessary. Alright, external lights are all off. We need to turn on the beacon, the strobe on the runway, and yeah, very old school overhead panel, lots of circuit breakers. I've probably never seen so many on a single plane. There's more to the sides, by the way. We're just not seeing those right now. Yeah, old school speaker right here for the oral warning. I believe you can also place it as a loudspeaker if you don't want to use your headset, but yeah, some more audio panels here to the side. So these are inoperable. This is the captain audio panel. Some heater switches, oxygen circulation. Actually, this is the captain oxygen for the mask. Still loading passengers, believe it or not, because they're all loading from the back. There's no door for the, well, there is a door up front, but the passengers will not be able to load from it. So they need to all load from the back.
Airspan 914, taxi to ramp 906 via Sierra Bravo Delta,
it's
hold short of
unfortunate
runway 4
that
left.
Chase plane
Taxi to
decided
ramp
to give
906
up on
via
us
Sierra
today.
Bravo Delta, hold short of runway 4 left, airspan 914.
So Chase plane is not selecting any external camera, but we are able to watch the internal and the external. Just not, well, the external camera, you can load it, it will just not cycle. And I've preset other cameras as well, so it's really a shame. Anyway, this is taking a lot longer because there's only one entry for the passengers in the back. But they're all in now. You can see the huge cargo door there open with the cargo crates inside. So at least we can see that, but unfortunately chase plane isn't working correctly with the external camera systems. Only the internal one seems to be working okay. Alright, we're just about ready to go. Let's go back here to our before start checklist is going to be run next as soon as the passengers are all in. Look at this. Emergency brake. This is very familiar. I mean, this has not changed much over the years. Still have that rolling trim. It's still the same layout, more or less.
Strata 309er, exit to ramp 145 via
There's
Sierra
no
Bravo Delta, hold short of runway 4 left.
Taxi to ramp 145 via
reverse
Sierra Bravo
levers
Delta,
are a
hold
bit
short of
different.
runway 4 left, Strata 309er.
And if I'm not mistaken, this little trim friction thing here, it's actually been involved in an incident. I'm not sure if it was this plane. So you see how close it is to the flap lever. I remember reading about something. I believe it was a 707. This lever is for the friction. So in order to get to control the grip on these levers, and for some reason pilots could mistake these for the flap lever, even though they're so different in shape, and it had to be removed over time. Nowadays it's nowhere near there. What is this? Oh, there's another friction here. Oh, this is just for the trim wheel. Alright, so this is for the levers, this is for the trim wheel. Nice. I'm discovering this plane alongside you guys. So how is our passenger loading? Are we still loading the baggage now? Really? Loading the baggage still? The doors are closed. That's why you guys aren't loading much, isn't it? Alright, let's open the doors for these guys. The back door is closed. We can close the front door as well. The main cargo door. I'll just tell them that completed. Alright. Loading completed. And we can close these. Let's go with the before start checklist.
Before start checklist. Battery switch. On. Emergency exit lights. Armed. Passenger signs. On.
Alaska 1043, Gate Echo 2 request pushback.
Anti-skid switch.
Alaska 1043, Honolulu ground, pushback and engine start approved, face south.
Close.
Pushback and engine start approved, face south, Alaska 1043.
Instrument source switch. Set to instrument. Attitude source switch. Set to 1. Transponder. Set and on. Transponder altitude reporting. Set to 1. Weather radar mode. Set to standby.
Sorry,
Yaw
I'll stand
damper.
by.
Check and on.
Yaw
Window
damper.
heat. Set to low. Engine start levers. Cut off.
Cut off.
Parking brake. Set.
Set.
Rudder and aileron trim. Free and zero.
3 and 0.
Fuel boost pumps. Is set to on.
Alright.
Crossfeed selectors 1, 3, and 4. Is closed. Crossfeed selector 2. Is open. Air conditioning. Is turned off. Galley power. Off. Start pressure. Available. Wheel well light. Off.
That's all
Beacon and
we need.
navigation lights. Is on.
Okay.
Wing isolation valves. Is open. Engine starter guards.
Alaska 1043, request taxi to the active.
Before start checklist.
Alright.
Completed.
Alaska 1043, runway
Let's
8
request
left,
push
taxi
and
via
start.
Zulu Alpha.
Runway 8 left taxi via Zulu Alpha Alaska 1043.
I don't even remember my call sign. Alright. Honolulu ground, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, request push and start.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, Honolulu ground, hold position for traffic.
Hold position for traffic, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
Someone's crossing behind us.
Airspur 8716, taxi to ramp 143 via Delta, hold short of runway 4 right.
Taxi to ramp 143 via
So
Delta.
that
hold short
little
of
tug
runway
there
4
is
right,
stuck.
Airspur
We're just gonna
8716.
ignore that. Let's see if it goes away.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
There's our pin. Pin lady.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, Honolulu ground, pushback approved, face south.
Pushback approved, face south. Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Here comes the tug. I was expecting bad weather today, but there was some bad weather out of Hawaii yesterday.
Locking gear.
But today's shiny. Sun is shining.
Airspur 8716, cross runway 4 right at Delta, taxi to ramp 143 via Delta Charlie.
Cross runway 4 right at Delta, taxi to ramp 143 via Delta, Charlie, Airspur 8716.
So the starting sequence is 3421.
Via Charlie, hold short of runway 8 left.
Taxi to gate Echo 9er via Charlie.
We are
Hold
being
short of runway
raised.
8 left, Alaska 1034.
So we need to face south. There's no south option. So what's the best thing? Is east probably? Yep. Probably east, yeah.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at
Alaska
will.
1034,
Copy.
cross
Start
runway
at
4
will.
right
Start
at Charlie,
runway 3.
hold short of runway 8 left.
Engine
Cross
start
runway
valve.
4 right at Charlie. Hold short of runway 8 left, Alaska 1034.
Fifteen percent N2. Lever to start.
Three starting.
Oil pressure rising.
Well, if N2 is rolling, why is N1 stuck?
Starter release.
Alaska 1034,
50%
cross runway 8 left at Charlie, hold short of runway 4
Idle.
left.
Cross runway 8 left at Charlie. Hold short of runway 4 left, Alaska 1034.
Engine stabilized. Let's start 4.
Engine start valve open. Fifteen percent N2. Lever to start.
Lever to start.
Alaska 1043, contact Honolulu Tower
Oil
118.1
pressure
CU.
rising.
Contact Tower 118.1, Alaska 1043.
Starter release.
I really wish these engines were a bit louder.
50% N2. Lever to idle.
Idle. This definitely should happen. Like N2 is already pumping and N1 is stuck on
Reset
0.
parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Confirm. Start number 2.
Engine start valve open. 15% N2. Lever to start.
Done. Whoops, stand by. That's not start. This is start.
Oil pressure rising.
See, N2 is already at 30-40% and N1 is still stuck at 0. I think this is not supposed to happen because these are fans rotating, and these have the function to cool down the engine. So I think if this would ever happen, like now it's at 70%, it's only at 10%, 15%, N1. The intake would not flow air. So this is the front fan, this is the mid-engine fan. So yeah, doesn't sound correct, but hey, I'm not a pilot of this aircraft.
Engine start valve open.
We can call GSX and tell them we got a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
15% N2. Lever to start. Oil pressure rising. Starter release. %, N2. Lever to idle.
Alright. So these are numbers here, flaps
Tow truck
14.
disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
What's going on with the flap lever here? Flap 14 is here, alright. So something's fishy with this flap indicator here. Should stop at 14 but kept going, alright, not stuck. Alright, so after start checklist.
After start checklist. Engine start switches. Off and guarded. Engine start levers. Set to idle.
Done.
AP bleed valve. Closed. Engine generators. Check and on. Essential power selector. Set to 3. Engine 2, 3, and 4 turbo compressors. Starter and check. Galley power.
Southwest 1557. Taxi to gate Echo 2 via Charlie. Hold short of runway 8 left.
On.
Taxi to gate Echo 2 via Charlie. Hold short of runway 8 left. Southwest 1557.
Hydraulic pumps. Check and on.
Honolulu ground, Clipper 707, Charlie ready to taxi for the active.
On.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. Runway 8 right. Taxi via Zulu. Alpha Juliet. Hold short of runway 8 left.
After start checklist. Complete.
Stand by, let me get my bearings here. Taxi to runway 8 right via Zulu Alpha Juliet. Hold short runway 08 left. Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. Alright, we're good to go.
Southwest 1557. Cross runway 4 right at Charlie. Hold short of runway 8 left.
Cross runway 4 right at Charlie. Hold short of runway 8
So
left.
we need to
Southwest
go to 08 right, so down here, which is a pain in the rear end, but we should be able to taxi to the back. For some reason it told us to face south, and we need to make a U-turn here. So we're going to taxi all the way back via Alpha and then Juliet and hold short runway 08 Lima as they declared. So we're going to turn right here where this Hawaiian aircraft was turning. Right. Taxi checklist.
Southwest 1557, cross runway 8 left at Charlie, hold short of runway 4 left.
Essential
Cross
power
runway 8 left at Charlie, hold short of runway 4 left, Southwest 1557.
on. Transponder on. Speed brake taper. Full forward.
We're rolling.
Power. Set and on. Fuel boost pumps. On. Fuel heaters. Set to off. Flaps. Set to 14 green lights. Stabilizer trim. Set to 4.0 units. Altimeter. Set to
Beautiful plane, isn't it? From an old era. I mean, the wing shape and the size was so unique.
Charlie, hold short of runway 4 right.
Taxi to ramp
That swept wing design was so fresh and new that a lot of pilots actually fell in love with the aircraft, and righteously so. It's very beautiful. And look at that, we still have the old school upper windows. There's a mix of ideas why those windows exist. So back in the day, they used to be used to navigate the stars. So at night, pilots would use a sextant to find the stars and navigate using the stars. That's true. And the other myth, well, it's not a myth, it's a myth, a notion, is that these windows would help the pilot on a turn. So if I was the captain turning right, these windows would provide me some extra visibility on the turn. A word of appreciation for Honolulu Airport. It's supplied by Inibuilds, a courtesy of Inibuilds, which I thank them very much. It does look amazing. It's a very cool airport.
583, cross runway 8 left at Charlie, taxi to ramp Sierra 6 via Charlie.
Now we have views again.
Charlie, taxi to ramp Sierra 6 via Charlie, Strata 583.
So chase plane has started to work again.
Request pushback and engine start.
And amazing views we got here.
Alaska 1068, Honolulu ground, pushback approved, face northwest.
Pushback approved, face northwest.
Here we go, going through Alpha. Then Juliet, so this one right here. Plane needs a lot of power to, I mean, look at that, we are at 40% thrust. It needs a lot of power to just taxi. It's amazing. Well, amazing not in a very good way. Curiosity about this plane, it carries water for what pilots would used to call the wet takeoff. So whenever a temperature would exceed a certain threshold, the outside temperature, so it's a hot day, the engines needed water to cool down, otherwise they would not perform. And the last thing you need on this plane is not to the engines not be performing, because it's already a pain to get it off the ground if they're not working correctly. By the way, I need to reset my heading, so it's now 079. Somewhere over here. I just need to maintain runway heading for a moment after takeoff. So we come about on our left turn here. So this is R8, that's not what we need. RB. But it says here it's Juliet, so we'll take their word for it. Not sure if Inibuilds updated this airport correctly or not, but it is a holding point, Juliet.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, hold short of runway 8 left, arriving traffic.
Hold short, runway 8 left, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
Southwest 1860, runway 8 left, taxi via Zulu
Need to
Alpha.
cross the runway.
left taxi via Zulu Alpha, Southwest 1860.
But he said it was arriving traffic.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, cross runway 8 left at Juliet.
Cross runway 8 left at Juliet, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
Singapore 7441 Heavy, taxi to cargo 149 via Charlie. Alright, taxi to cargo 149 via Charlie, Singapore 7441 Heavy.
Just to make myself visible. There are 6 external lights just for the landing. How crazy is that? So we'll continue on Juliet to 8 Romeo. This airport is very cool. I'm going to return here for my world tour, because I really like it. The first time ever flying to Honolulu. And notice this, I got this obsession with cockpit panel, or design, and I really do not enjoy the fact that the yoke is not centered with the artificial horizon. I'm so used to seeing that pretty much centered dead on with the aligned with the artificial horizon, the main one, that it kind of bugs me. Carry on through the bridge. So you see why I like this airport. Look at this. This is a man-made bridge that acts as a taxiway for runway 8 Romeo that's actually been built over the sea. This is a feat of engineering. Pretty cool, and Inibuilds designed it flawlessly. I mean, look at this. Looks really cool. An airplane. Looks like it's going around. I hope there's an issue on the runway. The only downside of these types of taxiways and runways built over the sea is that sometimes they will have flooding from the seawater, especially during storms, and salt water does a thing to the tarmac. But of course engineers predict that and they can resolve it. So we're coming up on the holding point.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, contact Honolulu Tower 118.1 CU.
118.1, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. Honolulu Tower, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy with you, ready for departure.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, Honolulu Tower, wind calm, fly runway heading runway 8 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, fly runway heading Clipper 7, runway 8 right, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. Before we go, we need to set our airplane for takeoff. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist.
Alaska 1055, monitor ground 121.9 over the day.
Ground 121.9, Alaska 1055.
Set to temperature control.
Southwest 1860 ready for departure. Runway 8
Set for
left.
takeoff. Transponder.
Southwest 1860 Honolulu Tower, Windcom, fly heading 140, runway 8 left, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 140, runway 8 left, clear for takeoff, Southwest 1860.
Second flight start. Strobe lights is on. Landing lights extended and on. Before takeoff checklist completed.
Alright, here we go. All lights up, as they should. Missing the vRAAS telling me on runway 08, right. Alright, there we go, guys. Where's the chrono? I keep forgetting to launch the chrono. This plane doesn't have a chronometer, does it? It's gotta have one. I just can't find it. I know there's a one. Oh, there it is. There's a winding chrono there. You can see there. You need to wind it. All right.
Quad 10 tree heavy, Honolulu Tower, continue.
Roger.
Go. There we go. %, and 1. Just keep it in the white band. Nice jet line. Oh, we need to set the bugs.
80 knots.
80 knots, check. Rotate, here we go. Get up there. Positive rate, gear up. Let's keep it at 1,000 feet per minute. We need to climb to 4,000 feet.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, contact HCF departure, good day.
Contact HFC departure, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. Departure, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy with you, flight level, well, not flight level.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, HCF departure, radar contact, cleared direct Molokai, resume the Molokai 5. Climb and maintain flight level 180.
Clear direct to MKK, resume MKK 5, climb and maintain flight level 180. Flaps up. Here we go. I just don't want to over climb it. So let's proceed direct to MKK. Let's not descend here. So right hand turn towards MKK. Set this for autopilot engage, set for heading.
1,000 to go.
Set 1,800 feet. 18,000 feet. So lots of stuff to do here. There we go. Let's raise the nose. There we go. Oh, altitude hold is not what we want. There we go. Yeah, let's engage nav and see if it takes us there. So flight director now set to nav mode. There we are. Should fly straight now. There it is. Pretty straightforward. It is following the CDU set course, so we don't need to worry about the CDI here. It's going to follow straight to our next waypoint, which is MKK, and then it's going to turn to MKK5 waypoints and resume navigation. Here's hoping. Right now we're reaching 16,000 feet. 6,000 feet, sorry, not 16. 6,000 feet. We got some weather, nothing too serious ahead. Very old school. I just love this radar screen. Look at that. Oh, over speed. There's no auto throttle here. Just need to keep 300 knots, well 250 knots right now. We're just not climbing fast enough, that's why I oversped. And I completely forgot about the lack of auto throttle. Come on guys, this is a Boeing. I was really expecting to have auto throttle. I am sort of discovering this plane as I go, but I've been flying it for quite a while. I've not been trying to keep the procedures as closely as you would probably think, as I'd like to do on my live stream, so that's a problem. Let me just align track IR because now I'm just too tall. Oh, what just happened here? It's my track IR that's not accepting inputs for some unknown reason. Alright, now it seems to be working again. Alright, much better. Yeah, today's bye Draxy, see you later. Today's one of those days. I want to climb there, sir, if you don't mind. Set this to off. Speed brakes are in. After takeoff checklist. Did I perform that? I don't think I did. I was so concentrated with making this work. After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. Landing gear. Up and set to off. Engine start switches. Off and guarded. Pneumatics. Set. Temperature controllers. Set to automatic. Air compressor 3. On. After takeoff checklist. Complete.
Let's climb a little faster now.
HDF departure.
flight director is all over the place. Not sure why. We're reaching our interception of the SID. Should be making a left-hand turn in a moment momentarily. That's why nav is telling us to turn left. And there it is. That's what we need. Moment we should be turning left to Sepka. There it is. So why am I not seeing it turn? Because it wasn't engaged. That's why. Course 042 on the FMS course, so we're just going to help with the heading bug. Following the heading bug, is it? Oh, because we are off course. It's trying to get back into course. So we can just make it direct to Sepka. So we don't have to do all this flipping around.
Southwest 1849, contact HCF Center 126.5. Contact HCF Center 126.5, Southwest 1849.
There we go. Very slow on the turn, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Good afternoon, Lee. How do I set my custom views, Lee? No intentional sensors, mine. Lee, I'm using Chase Plane. It's a software. I'll show you. So it's a little software. It's very helpful. It's on the cheap side. It's not. It's payware, but it's very cheap. See, and you can. These are all the default observations. So instruments. We can cycle around all our instruments. This is the outside view, which wasn't working correctly a moment ago. But as you can see, it's very helpful to look around. And of Again, these are the outside default views, but you can also set your own, create your own. You can see here you have a create button for internal and external views, and you can also select the worlds, so you can have like flyby, the old school flyby feature. Look at that. Just love this camera. Pretty cool. And yeah, I think go back to pilot. So that I pretty much I only use stuff that I really like on my streams. So chase plane. I also use Tritrisim GFX. Pretty cool feat. It's not currently compatible, so this is Tritrisim GFX. It's not currently compatible with the 707. And I also use, of course, Beyond ATC for my ATC, as well as StrataWX for my weather. And it's currently working with Strata.
7 Charlie Heavy, contact HCF Center 124.1.
121.1 Clipper 707C Heavy, not C, Charlie.
Negative HCF Center on 124.1.
Center on 124.1 Clipper 707C Heavy. They say 0.1, but it's decimal. Center Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy with you, climbing flight level 160 to flight level 180. This is StrataWX. It's injecting live weather. Climb maintain flight level 370, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. So this is our cruise altitude. Set this to standard 2909er. There it is. Altitude set standard. We're now flying flight level. It's alright. It's alright, Lee. Anytime. I really appreciate Chase Plane. It's a pretty cool add-on. So let me tell you what I'm using right now. I'm using Beyond ATC for ATC. I'm using GSX for ground handling mostly, and some other stuff like taxi, dynamic taxi if I need to follow me, whatever. I'm using StrataWX for the weather injection. Pretty much the best thing you can acquire right now for weather. I'm using Navigraph charts, of course, for all my chart needs. I'm using, of course, finally, Tritrisim GFX for basic effects. So even if your plane is not compatible, which is the current state of the 707 right now, you can still have some general effects like user contrails, engine pollution, which was turned off for some reason. AI contrails, wing fade if you enter a cloud. All these are available as by default for all aircraft, even those not compatible. But then if the airplane is compatible, it will add wing condensation, thrust on rain, so whenever you add power, you see the thrust of your engines produce a big splash. Water injection on the engine, so that little effect of water injection is pretty cool, as well as vortices, strake vortices from the strakes on the side of the plane. All of that is added if the plane is compatible. Currently the 707 is not, but you know, it's still a good thing because let me see if we can find any other aircraft in the vicinity. You'll see that the contrails are nothing like the default contrails that it's flying next to us for now. But as soon as you see one plane flying in our vicinity, you'll notice that the contrails are much more realistic. There we go, going for the next waypoint, which is Kolia. That's the final SID waypoint. Apparently the plane has a little trouble. Look at that, it has some trouble keeping up with the flight plan turning. Not sure if there's something wrong. I am on the verge of 250 knots. Let's increase that. Let's go 300 knots. Alright, 300 knots it is. We are climbing slowly. There's no rush to get up there. I also have other software I'm not using today, like vRAAS, to add RAAS tech to pretty much any plane and helicopter. Of course, these old planes would never use that, so I'm not using it today. Let's decrease pitch a little bit. I probably heard about that, but I didn't know it was a 707. I think I remember that. Yeah, well, these planes were hard to fly, even with 4 crew member. So there was the captain, the co-pilot, with today's Betsy, there would be the engineer panel and a navigator behind my seat. But even with that amount of people on the cockpit, it was still a hands-on plane. There's a lot of stuff here that is not automated, that requires a lot of... Oh, my altimeter here is incorrect. I hate this. Contact center 126.6, Clipper 707, Charlie Heavy. Center Clipper 707, Charlie Heavy with you, flight level 230, climbing for flight level 370. Yes, I guess these old planes were... Yeah, okay, Filanito, we heard the first time. Sorry, I'm gonna have to remove one of those. Yeah, it's a shame that happened, Filanito. It's been some time. When did that happen? How long would that happen? It's when we hear about these old accidents of planes. It's when we hear about these accidents in the past that we sometimes that we need to really. That we really need to appreciate the modernity of the avionics and how automated stuff protects pilots and passengers from 1990. Well, it wasn't that long. It was way after the 707 lifespan was predicted. So this plane was designed in 1950s and was produced up to 1979. So it's a relic of the past. Even that in 1990 was already outdated. There were already some better and more modern planes. So I can imagine pilots struggling to predict fuel. Then, if the autopilot malfunctions, the plane is in the middle of the ocean, just like we are flying right now. What do? Do you divert? You may not be able to. You may not be able to divert. You may be so far out of in the water, in the ocean, like we are going to be in a moment, that you just don't have a way to, to just carry on. You need to improvise. So guys, if you want to help the channel, leave a like, subscribe, and donate if you care, if you wish. Whatever you guys help the channel with is much appreciated. All money donated will be reused to purchase new add-ons, just like this one was purchased with the help of my viewers, which I thank you so much. Who I thank you so much. Old school compass. I believe this compass is retractable, although it's not animated right now. And look at that. All these are radios and audio panels. So these are radios. These are engine control, actually. Lighting, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 lights, panel lights, plus the glare. So the little lights for the external lights. Crazy. Anti-eyes, brake source, pressurization, all this is still available today on the overhead panel, but everything else like the radios and the lighting system, it's all either compacted or set on the pedestal. So the overhead panel configuration changed so much, and I've seen old school prop planes, and I've noticed that this follows that logic from prop planes. So radios were usually set up here. Not all radios, but high frequency radios and all that. There would be still today you have radio 3 sometimes on the top on the pedestal, but on the overhead, sorry. But yeah, it's a crazy thing to notice that overhead panel today is so different. The logic is on the overhead you have everything like electrical, pneumatic, hydraulic, fuel, everything's now on the overhead panel. But back in the day, it was all there. And even not all that are on overhead panels. Most of this stuff, including the gauges, now sit on the ACAS system. So the electronic system now, puts everything condensed in there. So let's put Betsy handling the comms for now on. We're still climbing from flight level 370. Again, no rush. You don't want to rush things with this plane. We're currently at flight level 310. Just right about now. Flight level 310. So we're still 6,000 feet to go. We are taking our time with our climb, and you can see this plane is very old school, because these VOR and ADF, so this is an RMI if I'm not mistaken, and all these are today they're condensed as standby instruments most of the time. This, of course, the HSI is a pain in the rear end, so you have an option to simplify it, which is turned on right now. And look at that, if we were on a modern day jet, even the transoceanic jet, we would already be past Korea by some time ago. And look at that, that's the contrail there from AI. So look at that, it's much more realistic than the default using Tritrisim GSX. Really recommend it for you guys if you're seeking realism. So as soon as we get to top of climb, I will accelerate time as I usually do. DME, look at the size of the DME indicators. oscillating here. We're getting some turbulence apparently. This sound you're hearing, sometimes it's the trim actuators. And it's so easy to get lost with these kinds of planes because there's no reference here. I mean, I do have my GPS data here, which is a kind of a cheat. But I heard a knob turning. I hope I didn't turn anything inadvertently. I just love this yoke. Look at this. What an incredible yoke. Brings back so many memories. I used to fly, well, I used to build and fly some Level D simulators. And the most plane I assembled and flew was the 737. So this yoke is the father of every single Boeing yoke that came afterwards. The 737, even the 727, 737, 747, 75, 76. Then the 777 kind of changed it. It's a little different. It's still the same general shape, but it is a little different. And of course, the Dreamliner now is another step ahead in terms of yoke design. But if you look back at the 737 family and the 747 and the 6757, they all share this DNA, this same type of yoke with the same ergonomics, but none of them have this little nice chevron here with Boeing logo. Back then, Boeing did not have that circle with the stripe. That circle with the stripe is the McDonnell Douglas logo that was embedded with the Boeing logo. So back then, Boeing was Boeing, and McDonnell Douglas was a competitor. Now they're merged into one. Some say not for the best, but let's leave that conversation to some other time. Yeah, it's a Mach point. Yeah, it is fast. What I mean is the climb rate. That's not fast. All right, let's get a little there. All right, right there. Let's keep it there. Plane is struggling a little bit to. The problem, I believe, is that the wing shape is a little too long, so I think it creates a lot of drag, and the controls of 1000 to go check, and the control surfaces for me are a little too short for the big wings this plane has. But yeah, Mach 0.8 is very cool. 85 now almost. It's not bad. So we're 1000 to go to our top of climb. After that I'll accelerate time. But I'll need to keep monitoring this because I'm not sure this plane will enjoy accelerating time. We'll see. Probably need to decelerate once it goes through another waypoint. In the meantime, let me confirm here if I need to add any further points. So after Kalia, we got C-band. Actually, we got another waypoint before that. That's Klutz, then C-band. Actually, there's nothing there, so let's add C-band there. So Klutz is where we're heading now, then C-band. that's going to be my issue with navigating this app. It's always been the problem. I could just scroll with my finger, but I can't. Look at that. It's always, yeah, this is not good. Never been good. It's never been good. Right after C-band, Civet. So, Civet.
Alaska 59, expect lava 1 with advanced transition, runway 2. Expect lavas 1 with advanced transition, runway 2, Alaska 59.
Then after Civet, we got Port TT. Should have been done before departure, by the way. But as long as we're not inserting the very next waypoint, we should be fine. Then it's Sydney. Hunts, Brenny. There are more waypoints here. So Hunts, passive, Pirat. So that's already the star, by the way. City, Hunts, passive. Welcome back. I am getting up and down motion. You can see that right here. It is getting an up and down motion. It's not perfect, not by a long shot. It's going up and down, it's not really intercepting. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to re-engage altitude hold. But as you can see, it will still oscillate quite a bit. And pretty... Oh, did I mess this thing up? Pirate, no. And lastly is ARG. ARG. G. 2 G's, 3 G's. ARG. I can see pirate ARG. Alright, so here's hoping we get this star. If not, we'll be in deep trouble, but we'll see. We can also set up our landing at San Francisco by looking into. So this is the approach we just inserted. Now let's get the ILS chart. I need to check what's going on with my Simbrief. I also had Navigraph logged out for some reason. Alright, so what charts we'll be looking for? We need the flight blend now.
United 1721 Heavy, contact HCF Center 118.45, have a good day.
Center on 118.45, United 1721 Heavy.
Runway 28 Romeo. And for that, we need ILS. Hopefully it's ILS and not RNAV. We'll be in trouble if it's RNAV. So let's see, 28 Romeo. Navigating this app is a pain in the rear end, let me tell you. So ILS runway 28 Romeo. So Cat 1, Cat 2, and 3. And ILS lock.
1190, leaving flight level 239 for flight level 370. Southwest 1190.
Alright, so it's a standard approach.
To flight level 370.
I believe it's a 3-degree flight slope approach. I just wish I could zoom in. What are the controls for this? Because I never got this thing to work correctly. So 111.7. ADF, VHF. So let's just manually turn. 111.7. This is okay, this is the active one. Alright, so and this is calm, we don't need to set that on nav. So there's no standby.
HCF Center, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, flight level 370.
Alright, looks good. So again, we need to tune in 111.7. Alright, let's leave it there for now. So we need to set this to glide slope auto. I wonder if the cause for this is because I'm not setting this to at altitude hold. And the plane's just following the flight director. Nope, that's not it. Oh, look at that, it's stabilizing. So maybe that's the issue right there. Fix some bugs, then you buy them. Don't do it like me. Where are we? We are right now. Let me see. go, so we still have a long way to go, but don't worry, I'll accelerate time. I'm just concerned this oscillation will cause us some hiccups. So I am going to turn on the Simrate controller. There's a little freeware app.
Simrate controller is ready.
Sorry about that echo effect. So this is a little app that runs outside the flight sim and will tell you your current sim rate as well as allow you to set it up. So pretty much recommended. And now I'm going to accelerate time. Look at that, Mach 0.9, is that really a thing? Look at that. Mach 0.9, guys. How is that even possible? Well, maybe because I'm exceeding. I'm almost overspeeding. But still, look at that, Mach 0.9. This is Falcon 7X Citation X speeds, guys. That's not possible. That's just a flight model glitch. I mean, this is a great plane, but look at that, we're exceeding Mach number. The plane would be disintegrating at this point. Look at the needle, it's even struggling to understand itself. We just been transferred to Oakland Oceanic. Yeah, let's reduce that. 270 is nice. So let's put it there. So reducing throttle. This is a lot more acceptable. I mean, look at that. Well, I mean, a little more will be Mach 1, and no one would even bat an eye. Let's see if it stabilizes on 270 knots and we'll accelerate time. Guys, this is an after effect of the idea that this thing is not automatic. This plane does not have auto throttle. It's got to be you controlling your aircraft. Speaking of that, I need to set this to 0 right now. The plane does simulate tilt, by the way, the radar, I mean. Tilt is working. Look at that. I'm not feeling confident in accelerating time. We will have some severe oscillations, I think. But anyway, here goes nothing, guys. 3, 2, 1, times 2. Oh, stand by. Times 2 now.
2 times speed.
Seems to be holding. Oscillations are still going, but controlled. I'm only at 2 times compression. Not gonna get into 4 times with this kind of oscillation. As the plane gets lighter, it should accelerate a little more. It's currently 240 knots, Mach 0.8, or give or take, more or less. Alright, I'm feeling audacious. Let's go 4 times.
4 times speed.
Alright, looks good. Get a little more throttle in. It looks good. Seems to be holding. Remember, without time compression, this is a 4-hour and 50-minute flight. I'm not gonna force anybody to watch my stream that long. So I need to do something, and my option is just to accelerate time. luck trying to read this clock now because it has no digits. So elapsed time, we already been probably 1 hour, close to 1 hour. But since takeoff, but there's no way to tell.
Sigma heading 331. Unable to proceed directly to the airport, Southwest 4692.
Alright guys, I'm gonna monitor this, but I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab something to eat and I'll be right back.
Southwest 3278. Contact Honolulu Center 127.6.
Contact Honolulu Center 127.6, Southwest 3278.
See you later, Fulanito. Nice seeing you, nice meeting you. Welcome to the channel. Thanks.
417. Contact Honolulu Center 127.6.
Contact Honolulu Center 127.6, United 417, have a good day.
to pinpoint exactly where the throttle needs to be in order to keep the plane from overspeeding. It requires constant monitoring, I guess. I took the opportunity to do a few screenshots while we were cruising because I like this cloud cover. Looks really smart. Right about now is a good time to do some visit to the cabin, I mean. So I think I'll do just that. Take you guys on a little stroll around the 707-320 Charlie, a combi airplane, and you'll see why it's called a combi. Now let's get up there. Betsy, you take control. The plane is a little shaky, but I think you can handle it. So again, our cabin, our engineer, not a cabin, engineer panel, that's what I meant, with a nice little interphone. I believe the engineer could speak with, I don't know, is that a Morse code panel? If that's not, I think that's a Morse code. Correct me if I'm wrong, it does look like a Morse code interface. But this guy here, he's got two phones. He's a very important guy. I mean, the navigator's seat is very sparse in terms of avionics, and none of these are, I believe these, yeah, the lights are working. These are dynamic, so they will of course be interfaced with the main panel, but this is completely inoperable, and I'm not sure what this is. I think this is an EG. It looks like either an EGT multi-gauge, or it could be because this is a navigator. This could be like a standby digital retrofitted instrument that could replicate probably the TCAS or something like that. Not sure. But hey, these guys were not in service after a few years. And this is so old school to have, first of all, the oxygen bottle inside the cockpit. Or this is a fire extinguisher, actually. Yeah, this is a fire extinguisher. It's actually low on charge, look at that. It's got a needle on recharge. One on a green and one on a recharge. So, yeah. So let's open here, let's go back here. So this is the cabin, that's it. Nah, just joking. This is where probably the standby crew could be sitting. It's like a little lounge for the crew. Probably one stewardess, one flight attendant will be here to supply the cockpit with the beverages and food, probably. That little tiny door there, that's the catering door. Back in the day, they didn't really care about the door size of the doors. And you'll notice this, you'll have 3 windows here on this, on the port side here. With these 2 seats, we have 3 little windows there, but you'll see that those windows do not correspond on the other side. And look at that, it has the little catering door. 2 loos. Actually, 1 loo and 1 storage compartment. Could serve as a little crew rest if they wanted to. They could put a little bed here. I think someone could lie down here. Probably too tight, but still. These were very comfortable seats, but not first class seats. They don't look like reclining seats. Yeah. For those long duration flights, it could be a little hard to get some rest. And we also have a jump seat here. These doors don't open, which is a shame. Not only they should open, they should be armed in flight. And the arming indicator would be these 2 straps would be tied together. we okay still? Yeah, looks like we're okay. Need to keep an eye on that speed. Now let's go into the back. Now you would imagine the rest of the cabin is just behind this door, but it isn't. Look at that. There's the cargo area, cargo compartment. So it is converted from, well, redesigned from an entire cabin. It would go all the way up. It would go all the way to these loops here with this galley being pushed forward, probably to this side and the other side. So the galley would be occupying this entire row here, and the seats would actually go up to this, or maybe here, another row. But no, instead there's a big cargo compartment. The big cargo door would open somewhere here. These two panels here. And it would open up and aft. Not up and aft, up and above. Oh, sorry. Forward and up. That's what I mean, forward and up. 2 crates for today's flight. And now, look at this. Now we are in the main passenger area. And you'll notice that only the front seats got these deluxe seats. So these 4 guys would pay a lot of money. And then there's a 3-3 configuration, single aisle, 3-3 configuration. Already had emergency exits over wing, which was kind of a cool feat. And these are interactive, but nothing else is. The trays aren't interactive. There's the bins. There's a section here where there are no bins for these front row seats. I believe these were for the crew, because I don't see anybody paying extra for just 4 seats, but be still sitting with the rest of the economy class. And none of these bins work, like I was saying. There's no in-flight entertainment. You would imagine a plane that flies for such a long period of time would have in-flight entertainment. There could be a chance that it's just not modeled, and a few airlines would have it. But currently it's not modeled on this plane, for sure. These lights are interactive, by the way. I will show you. So the bulk of the crew would be sitting here in the back, of course, because that's where the passengers would be. None of these panels work, unfortunately, but these are all storage compartments. Main galley, I would say, a little small compared to today's standards. Look at that. I believe that's a waffle machine. Pretty cool. The coffee machine is missing, by the way. Unless I'm missing where it should be. It looks like it should be here or here. Looks like it's missing. So no coffee for us today. Little faucet there. And there it is, cabin lights, so we can turn on the cabin lighting, aft cargo window. And the chime will not work, but we can set to bright and dim. Let's set it to bright, and now we can see. Actually, we cannot see because it's daytime, but during the nighttime it really works. And it just worked well. Big 2 ovens here, and the 3 loos for the entire cabin. So yeah, they're all openable. They're not interactive, unfortunately. You cannot flush. Don't know why many people would think that should be a universal feature, but yeah, it is what it is. It's not as feature complete as Inibuilds A340, where you can even shower in the plane, which is pretty cool, the VIP version. And there's a little storage compartment here for last minute baggage, crew baggage most likely. Yeah, no actual crew rest aside from that front little cupboard up front that I thought could be used as a crew rests area. But yeah. Alright, let's go back to our seats. And here we are back to the crackling. And we just passed the ETP, so the equal time point. This plane, of course, doesn't calculate that, but we can look at our progress bar on top, and you guys can see that we've passed the point of no return. That was actually pretty important for this plane, to be honest, because without, well, we're way before ETOPS for twin engines. We do have 4 engines, and if one fails, it's not going to be a major issue. They still have 3 more engines to carry us to the destination. But still, if there's an issue, you would like to make the decision whether to go back to Honolulu or forward to San Francisco. Why? Because there's nothing else here. If you draw a circle here, there's no other airport to go to. You either go to the destination or you go to the origin. There's no way that you're going to go anywhere else. Even if you had full fuel tanks full, you couldn't do it. So we passed the equal times point, which was calculated by the distance and the time, and you would decide until the ETP whether or not you should continue forward or go back. So we're past that, and right now, if we have an issue, we might as well continue flying to our destination. There's no point turning back. So this is an actual application of the ETP, or equal time point, in action. So that's a good demo right there. I've been talking about EEP for so long, and only now I had a chance to actually show you guys how that actually works. So guys, what do I think about this plane? Well, you guys saw me struggle with a lot of things because, you know, I'm not really used to this era of aviation, but I do like the fact that the virtual engineer works pretty good. It's an automated system. It helps you actually by setting up your plane for all phases of flight. It's actually pretty cool, and I do enjoy the fact that this plane is so well modeled that it will give you the little quirks, the little features on this plane, like the water-cooled engines, the fact that the autopilot is struggling here to stay on altitude. I would say it's a bit exaggerated, but yeah, back then the planes were not smooth. The autopilot was there to aid the pilot, not fly for him, not at all. That's a modern thing. The autopilot was there just to allow you to take your hands off the yoke. That was it. That was the main purpose of autopilot. But this one is capable of actually following the flight plan that you can insert via an FMC, or in this case, this improvised CDU or the INS system. So it does make flying a little easier, even though it's an old school plane. And I'm really concerned we've not had any contacts recently. So let's just make a radio check.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, radio check.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, 5.5.
Alright. So back in the day, radios were not as effective. They would need to use high-frequency radios some of the times, especially flying remote transoceanic flights. But, you know, modern day, we don't even need to talk. We have CPDLC. But back in the day, it was all radio-based. Now we can go satellite, CPDLC, transmit via satellite, and that will give us either a clearance or an instruction. Not on this plane, unfortunately, back then. And we're flying during the daytime with no weather, or we do have weather, but it's not severe. No, not by all means. It's just a little turbulence. Apparently, if this isn't provoked by the plane itself, which I'm in doubt here. But imagine yourself flying this plane at night with no GPS, no guidance, with no FMS, just your radar, your VORs if you had them. But if you're flying over the ocean, you're basically flying headings. There's no VOR in the ocean. There's only INS. Geographic waypoints set one by one, up to 9, and you need to fly over 9. What would you do? A lot of planes would rely on flying close to stations, so it's not even a matter of being ETOPS capable or not. That again, that came later. What I'm talking about is the fact that you need to be close to a certain station for an emergency, not because you miss an engine, no, any kind of emergency, including getting lost. You would, even with all the aids we got here on board, even with the FMS, planes do get lost. And GPS is a great help, but you guys saw on my last flight with the A350 how GPS can be fooled. It can be spoofed, it can be jammed, and that could be a problem. And yeah, it was a good feature to have a radio constantly contacting the radio, including high frequency HF radios with very low frequencies. They could go very far and beat the Earth's curvature, but even then it was an adventure, especially in rough weather at night and all that. And you could run on the risk of arriving to your destination and the airport would be closed or overwhelmed, or you need to be placed on hold, or you know, that it was quite the adventure. We need to appreciate modern aviation right now because it achieved so much automation, so much redundancies, so many redundancies, so much that these old planes, they do sound and feel very old. But hey, it's a joy to fly. And if you have the chance, try to fly it by hand as much as you can. But my appreciation about this plane will be written for the first time on this channel. I have been invited to make a written review on this plane. I'll put the link in the description once it's live. But right now I wanted to do this live stream and show you guys the plane, so that I had also a video support for my review. So yeah, of course I'm discovering the plane. I've committed a few mistakes here, especially with the flight planner and the FMC, but the shortcomings are the same that you would encounter, I suppose. And for that reason, I think this is a positive live stream. As always, I don't try to be perfect during my flying. I want to have mistakes and solve those mistakes because I want you guys to also solve your mistakes if you run into them. We had a guy here in the chat earlier talking about how he felt the plane was oscillating too much on cruise, and here we are oscillating too much on cruise. I agree. So how do I solve it? I didn't. It's a bug probably. Or maybe it's a quirk of the plane. The plane would bounce up and down. I mean, it's exaggerated right now because we have time compressed on, but at the very least, the plane should be able to compensate this for passenger comfort, for cargo stability. To have a plane constantly oscillating, even if there's turbulence, which there doesn't appear to be any turbulence right now. I can consult here Strata to verify that, but I don't think there is. Even with that, I think it's a bit overwhelming, this up and down oscillation. By the way, I love these old school little lights here. Do you guys know what this is? Inner, middle, and outer. These are the marker lights for the runways. So inner marker, it's a little rare, so not all runways will have the inner marker, but the middle and outer marker, you guys would remember the boop boop boop. So that's the middle marker, and the outer marker. This is actually on the charts. If you guys want to take a look here, I can show you. You actually need to be at a certain altitude when you run through the markers. So this runway right here, supposedly the one we'll be landing, doesn't have a marker indicator here on the ILS approach. Probably something that in the United States is becoming rarer, but I could show you, but I'm not going to do that right now. So markers would be, let's say there's a marker here. It would be like one of these lines, like this one, but a little fuller line. and it would say OM, so outer marker, then MM, middle marker, and by passing through that point in particular, let's say the middle marker was right here at 5.4 nautical miles from touchdown. If you had an MM here, so middle marker, you would know that you need to be at a certain altitude. It would be indicated here. So middle marker should be, let's say, 1,400 feet, let's say. I'm not saying that's the one we need. I'm just speculating. 1,400 feet. So when you hear the beep, 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 you should look down to your altimeter and confirm that you do have the same altitude as indicated on the approach chart. Nowadays, ILS is so reliable that this is no longer needed. The calibration is pretty much guaranteed every time. But back in the day, it really wasn't. And you needed to make sure... Well, this is glitching now. Yeah, this is glitching. And it wasn't, and you needed to guarantee that the ILS was guiding you correctly to the runway, because there could be a change in the angle of the ILS, and if that was the case, you could be higher or lower. So if you have the auto marker, you were passing it's just a radio beacon projecting to the sky. If you pass the auto marker or the middle marker above or below, you would know there's an issue with the ILS angle, and you would need to divert or call it in and probably request a visual if you could, something like that. Pretty cool. So yeah, these old school little lights, they're little lamps, and on the original planes you could press them to test the lights, but unfortunately you can't do that right now. So you have this glide slope indicator here. I suppose this will light up once you're on the glide path. Never seen it working. This will be a first for me. So I'm going to set up the runway course, assuming it's this one. So 284 is a runway course. So let's see. So that's 28. And now 1. Whoa, too fast. 28, now 1. That's too fast. Come on. I just want to turn. So again, 28. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. 284 correctly set up. The ILS Freak is set on VHF nav 2 because I don't have a standby radio, and I could set it up here because we're not flying VOR. We're flying FMS. So let's set it up here. 111.70. That's it. Okay, now we got the course set. We should have the RMI turning towards the VOR, and we should have DME on both radios. However, if we do not, I'm going to tune in San Francisco VOR 115.8 on radio 2. 5.8. So if the ILS Freak is not 111.7, if the ILS Freak is not correctly picking up on the ILS, we will know that we are flying towards San Francisco using the VOR only. So here's hoping it all goes well. Of course, some ILSs do not have DME well, they should, but it could be the chance they're malfunctioning, so you might as well have a secondary system to corroborate the distance. So yeah, let's just hope it all goes well. We're getting closer and closer. Turn off time compression once we get closer, or at least when we get the handover to go to San Francisco control, because I don't want to get running into the chance that they change our approach and I need to set up my FMS again. That will be a pain. Could happen though. See here the trimming for the rudder, ailerons, and elevators. Slightly, the elevators are sliding, pinching down on the nose, but everything is stable as they should. Old school landing gear indicator with 3 green lights. Very old school glare shield with the fire handles. This is very, very old school. Some planes still have this. What was the plane I flew recently that had the fire handles here? Wasn't the TriStar? The TriStar already has the autopilot control up here. What plane was it? It had the fire handles here. Was it the Canadair? Probably the Canadair. Super Scooper. Some planes still have it. Even modern day planes have it. It's an old school thing because it's up to the pilot's reach, so you can easily reach there and pull those handles. But the 737 already has the fire handles here, and all the other Boeing also have the fire handles here. And of course, you know that Airbus has the fire handles up top on all their planes. The after overhead panel. Aft overhead panel, not after. Alright, so again, this clock is very hard to read, but one can say that we've been flying for almost 4 hours, I think. 4.5 hours, or 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours, that's what I meant. Probably. It's hard to say because, you know, it's analog. We did set it up on takeoff, but I just can't tell. If I was flying real time, I could set up my clock to follow it, but we're not. So there's been a wind change. We could clearly see the wind changed here because this is sort of a precursor to our velocity vector. It's not really a velocity vector, but this is slow, this is fast, this is optimal according to your preset speed here. So you put your speed bug where you want to go. So let's say right now it's 270 knots indicated. So that's what this little ball will tell you. It will tell you you're going too fast or too slow. So it is sort of a precursor to the modern day velocity vector. And remember, we've been flying at Mach 9 at some point during this flight. It was really unbelievable. So right now we can set this to 0 on the pitch command for the flight director. It's on hold mode, so but still we need to make sure it's not going to start doing its own thing. Another thing that's this plane was still ahead of its time is the retro lighting. So old school planes and propeller planes already had retro lighting, but this one was the one that brought the gray panels with the white lights. But well, they are white when the plane's new. They kind of get yellowish as time goes by. And again, the fact you're not seeing retro illumination during daytime is an FS 2024 bug. For some reason, it does turn off the lights. So I'm going to set up here our decision height for 200 feet. We don't have MDA. We don't have a bug here for our altimeter or anything of the sort, but we do have this for the radar altimeter. We got our course set for the runway. We got the frequency set up for ILS and for SRS and for the San Francisco VOR. This rattling is upsetting, isn't it? It's been flying like this since we departed on Honolulu and got to the cruise. It kind of sounds like the trimmer trying to move, but it doesn't physically move. So I think it's a bug. See the nose going up and down there. It's nice to see that this plane does have wing flex. Inibuilds would not do it any other way, but still, it's a very old school logic for aerodynamics. The very first plane to have swept wing for a commercial airliner. I think this was something that was learned from military aviation, of course, and brought to civilian life, civilian logic. But this wing shape was really innovative. It was the first time you saw that on a commercial airliner. All planes before this were propeller planes, and so the wings were like either straight T or very close to that. So this plane was the very first one with a narrow shape, and that made it so beautiful back then. There was nothing like this before. I see that it's cruising with a nose up attitude. It kind of reminds me of the 747, which does the same. It does have a nose up cruise out attitude. But it could also mean that it's not the case right now. It could also mean that you're under speed in the cruise. It's not the case right now.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. Contact Oakland Center 134.15. See you.
Contact Oakland Center 134.
Let's get out of
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
race.
Normal speed.
Oakland Center.
Right, we're back at normal
707
speed.
Charlie Heavy. Fly level 370.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. Center, roger.
So we're waiting for the clearance for our descent. We're a little off course, as you can see there. Some discrepancy between our INS system and actual positioning, but not a big deal. Navigraph, the Navigraph app also usually has a little slight offset positioning of the plane there, so no big deal. No, don't do that. Not again. But don't do that. Whenever I do this, and this menu opens down here, I see, now I can't, still. But sometimes when I do that, I stop having the scroll to zoom in and out, so I don't want that to happen today. And I'm still waiting for that clearance. So anybody watching, how's the sound today? Because I've been having some issues with the microphone and the simulator sound being too loud. So will you guys tell me if anybody's watching, how's the sound going? Because I think it's better today, but I've only tested it once or twice before. Let me know. So 91% of flight done. Still in cruising altitude. Betsy's still in a bad mood today. Ever since she cut her hair, I would think she would remove the vRAAS, but no. Shortcomings for this plane. Good time to talk about it. Not a lot of things in the cockpit are interactive, so windows aren't interactive, for example. It's not important, but still, I would like to see these windows open. Some gauges are not active, like the navigator gauges. Circuit breakers, of course. I don't think there's any circuit breaker working. Was that us? Yep. Expect Pira 3 with the Cine transition, runway 28 Romeo, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. Alright, so is that the one we selected here? 28 Romeo, correct. And we are going with Pira 3 with the Cine, that's correct as well. With the Cine transition, which is the next waypoint. Cool. Alright, that went better than expected. Because if it wasn't this approach, we would be in trouble. For sure. For sure. This one, let's leave it there. So you see that whenever I operate this electronic flight bag and add something to it, there's a little freeze or a little hiccup. Yeah, that's the reason why I don't like this electronic flight bag by Asobo. It's too heavy, navigation is too clunky. The apps that you can use with it often are very heavy as well. Especially this Navigraph app here. If you have a Navigraph subscription and you have your own physical tablet with you, you can do everything I'm doing right here with your tablet. I'm only doing it here for you guys because I can do it with my own tablet and it's a lot less of a hassle to navigate and operate and all that. So let's call ready for descent here.
Right, descend via Pirate Tree arrival, runway 28 right.
Betsy's handling the comms. So let's descend via chart. So let's open the chart here. Not this one. This one. And we are coming up on Cine right here, and we should be descending to flight level 210 initially. So let's do that. Flight level 210. We don't want to overshoot our altitude clearances because we do have restrictions. Let's start our descent. Here we go. Wow, we need to get out of altitude hold and start descending. And here we go. We also need to control our airspeed now. This hissing sound is the throttles moving. It's trying to emulate the frictions. Alright, that's good. Good descent rate there. Maybe a little too much. I said it's a little too much. feet, that's okay. See, seatbelt signs. Oh, we never turned them off. But let's do this little flicker of the seatbelt signs. There's no one sitting in the back anyway.
China Eastern 586 Heavy, contact Oakland Oceanic 131.9 F5. Contact Oakland Oceanic 131.9 F5, China Eastern 586 Heavy.
By the way, there is sitting people there, but I think when I loaded the cargo, because the cargo crates are back there, but I think when I loaded they have not been loaded yet. Look at that, I forgot to load the passengers in, but the weights are in, so it's just not visible because I forgot. But if I do that now, oh look, it is first class. Look at that. These are first class seats. Although, yeah, only 4 of them, but there are 4 first class. It's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Oh, I thought this was for the crew or something, but no, they are first class. So let's load immediately. So now, if we go back there, let's do that real quick while we're sitting. We will have seated passengers. We can close this door when we return. Let's close it when... Well, we can close it right now because we're teleporting to the cockpit. I think the gaps to open these doors should be a little more visible. To open the cargo door. Seated passengers, I'm sorry. But I did manage to get them seated, only I think I did that during takeoff, and then I think they disappear midair. Oh well, no big deal. Still not in the city vicinity, not yet. Actually, it says we passed it, we're already at Hunts, but we're not getting flight following here. Back to the main page, and indeed we've passed Cine. Alright, let's stay here. It's a shame this clock is unreadable for me. I really wish to know how many flight hours did I take. There's a streak here of another plane's contrail. How's our airspeed? We're quite okay. We will be reducing to 250 knots once we get below 10,000 feet. But until then, we can go as fast as we can. Unless ATC tells us to otherwise. Up on San Francisco. Don't worry, you're not going to sing the song. Very famous for the hippie movement in the 1960s. Anti-Vietnam War movement. Also known as a very artistic city. I've never been there. And also famous for the Alcatraz prison. Very famous prison for obvious reasons, for filming, and also because it was a maximum security prison, famously quoted as unescapable, but some guys did manage to escape when it was still active. Nowadays it's a bona fide museum. Not sure why you would want to visit a place of torture, but you can go there today and visit it. If that's your thing. Oh, time compression is no longer active. Let me take that off the screen there. Beautiful plane, really is. And this paint job is so iconic. I remember being a kid and watched the Pan Am aircraft arriving in Lisbon. They weren't frequent, but they did come to Lisbon every now and then. I think there was probably 2 flights a week from New York, I think. I'm not sure this plane was capable of transoceanic direct. I probably had a stop.
United 869 Heavy, contact Oakland Center 119.975.
Contact Oakland Center 119.975.
Probably a stop in the
United
Azores.
869 Heavy, good day.
I also remember TAP Portugal owning a few of these 707s and being at home and watch them overfly my house. I will never forget the sound of those engines. I knew instantly a 707 was coming in. I was very little, but I do remember it. I also remember the TriStar, still my favorite plane from TAP Portugal in that time. You see, the 707 was still used to a certain point when TAP Portugal started using it exclusively for cargo flights, cargo freight, and eventually it was replaced by the TriStar, the A310, and then the A340. So it became obsolete pretty quick after that. But it was still used for cargo, and that's the plane I most remember, was the cargo plane for TAP Portugal. But I do remember, I think it was Pan Am and TWA, correct me if I'm wrong, that flew to Lisbon with this plane. Beautiful pictures of plane crossing the clouds there. We're in the soup. Let's just pay attention to our scope here to see if we got any turbulence ahead. Nope, appears to be quite okay. Next waypoint is passive. After Hunts. No, after that, yeah, passive, and then rains. Inserted rains actually. Passive, PRAT direct. So instead of going to rains, I inserted passive and then PRAP. So, oh, actually, Rames is a holding point. So, good call. Past me. Good call. Holding, we are still descending. So let's increase our reference speed here by a little bit because we're still above 10,000. Increase our descent rate as well. Let's go to 2,000 feet. 1, 2. Should be enough to get us to 2,000 feet per minute. 3, 4. There we are. So this is the ADF. I was thinking this would be the NAV1 VOR and this would be NAV2, but this is clearly VOR. This one is stated as ADF with this little sticker on the side. So this is ADF. So the difference between ADF and VOR, for those that don't know,
1,000 to go.
1,000 to go, check. So we need to stay at flight level 210. I didn't want to do that, I wanted to do this. It to stay 210. We've passed that. Now let's go 140. Right. No, don't hold. Don't hold. It's a little too optimistic with that little hold button there, hold switch. Alright, now it's a matter of looking at my chart, looking at my current direction, and make sure I don't mess up. And I'll be good to go for the ILS runway 38 left Romeo. 28 Romeo. And let's open the Avionics DC comms so we don't miss anything. Last thing I want to do is overshoot anything. Plane's been holding up pretty good. It's only me that's been failing sometimes.
Reduce speed 280 knots.
Betsy still holding.
707 Charlie Heavy.
Handling comms. Alright, let's go 280 knots. It's not that hard to accomplish. That's US coastline right there. So, ahoy land. So, I would say this is
707 Charlie Heavy, reduce speed 260 knots.
Reduce speed 260 knots, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. So they're now starting with this reduced speed crap. How about we perform a fix here on our FMC, right? I can't even insert SIDS and stars here. Need to do everything by hand, apparently. That, or I misread the FMC manual. That's the landing gear warning because I was reducing thrust too fast. Plane just won't decel. Alright, let's open the speed brakes.
Contact lockout approach United 373 Heavy.
$1,000 to go.
1,000 to go, check. Then after PRAT, go to 10,000 feet. Boy, these speed brakes are so ineffective. Thanks. There's a landing gear warning. Alright, let's...
707 Charlie Heavy, contact locale approach 134.5.
134.5, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
Skywest 5636, cleared direct gate, cross
Alaska 1406, descend, maintain 5000. Descend, maintain 5000, Alaska 1406.
Let me talk. NorCal approach, Clipper 707C, heavy. With you, flight level 130, descending for 10,000 feet.
Clipper 707, Charlie Heavy, NorCal approach. Advise you have Romeo, altimeter 29er, expect a visual approach, runway 28 right.
Expect a visual approach, runway 28 right, QNH 29er, Clipper 707, Charlie Heavy.
Alaska 1406, airport is at your 11 o'clock, 15 miles. Report the field in sight. We have the field, Alaska 1406.
So we are going for the visual, which is always good.
Runway 28 left.
So we are probably getting vectors, probably, but we need to follow the RNFs.
Clipper 707, Charlie Heavy, resume normal speed.
Resume normal speed, Clipper 707, Charlie Heavy. Let's reduce to 250 knots. No need to go any faster than that right now. Right, let's go for the checklists here. We should probably have done the descent checklist.
SkyWest 5599, contact San Francisco Tower 120.5. Have a good afternoon.
Started.
Contact Tower 120.5, SkyWest 5599.
Closed. Center fuel boost pumps. Set to off. Descent preparation checklist. Completed.
Right, good to know. Well, let's embed.
1,000 to go.
1,000 to go, check. Next waypoint, 8,000 feet. Then we'll transfer to probably some vectoring for the approach. Let's go faster.
Jet speed 470, airport is at your 12 o'clock, 15 miles. Report the field in sight. Field in sight, jet speed 470. Jet speed 470, cleared visual approach, runway 28 left. Cleared visual approach 28 left, jet speed 470.
Why is everybody getting a visual?
SkyWest 4735, lead any heading 340, expect radar vectors for visual approach, runway 28 right.
That could be an issue with this airport. Everybody's getting a visual.
Vectors for visual approach, runway 28 right, SkyWest 4735.
Oh well, it's a good practice for this plane anyway.
Alaska 1406, contact San Francisco Tower 120.5. Over to Tower 120.5, Alaska 1406.
I wish we could make one of those
1,000 to go.
parallel landings. 1,000 to go, check. Let's insert here KSFO so we can have some bearing.
Clipper 707, Charlie Heavy, leave out heading 025, expect radar vectors for visual approach, runway 28 right.
Leave our heading to 025, expect vectors for the visual, runway 28 right, Clipper 707, Charlie Heavy. Alright, let's go to heading
SkyWest 4735,
025.
11 o'clock, 14 miles. Report the field in sight.
Field in sight, SkyWest 4735.
SkyWest 4735, cleared visual approach, runway 28 right.
Cleared visual
Beautiful
approach,
San
28
Francisco
right,
Bay.
SkyWest 4735.
United 373
heading
leave
mode.
out heading 035, expect radar vectors for visual approach, runway 28 left. Leave out heading 035, expect radar vectors for visual approach, runway 28 left. United 373 heavy. United 1958, turn left heading 025. Turn left heading 025, United 1958.
Let's put here the ILS, although we'll not be using it, at least will give us some guidance towards the
Clipper
runway.
707, Charlie Heavy, descend and maintain 4000, altimeter 29er.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. QNH 2999er, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. Come on, do it
Clipper
fast.
707 Charlie Heavy, turn right, heading 090. Vectors for the visual approach, runway 28 right.
Right 090, vectors for the approach, runway 28 right, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
Jet speed 470, contact San Francisco Tower 120.5. Over to Tower 120.5, jet speed 470.
So we are being vectored out.
United 1958, airport is at your 10 o'clock, 15 miles. Report the field in sight. We have the field, United 1958. United 1958, cleared visual approach, runway 28 left. Cleared visual approach 28 left, United 1958.
So we're
SkyWest 47,
still a bit high.
contact San Francisco Tower 120.5, take care. Over to Tower 120.5, SkyWest 4735. United 373 Heavy, descend and maintain 5,000, altimeter 2999er. Descend and maintain 5,000, altimeter 2999er, United 373 Heavy. Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, turn right, heading 130, reduce speed 220 knots, vectors for the visual approach, runway 28 right.
Turn right, heading 130, reduce speed 220 knots, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
United 373 Heavy, descend and maintain 4,000 feet, vectors for the approach. Descend and maintain 4,000 feet, United 373 Heavy.
Speed brakes out, let's see if it can decel.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, turn right, heading 120.
1,000 to go.
Right 120, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. $1,000 to go, check. Alright, let's send approach.
Approach check.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, turn right, heading 140, vectors for the visual approach, runway 28 right.
Glide slope aligned.
Turn right, heading
Set.
140, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
On. Landing lights. Extended and on. Fuel boost pumps. Is set to on. Fuel heaters. Is turned off. AC auxiliary.
United 373 Heavy, turn left, heading 300. Turn left, heading 300, United 373 Heavy.
Approach checklist. Completed.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, turn left, heading 340.
Left 340, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
United 373 Heavy, airport is at your 10 o'clock, 11 miles. Report the field in sight. We have the field, United 373 Heavy. United 373 Heavy, cleared visual approach, runway 28 left. Cleared visual approach 28 left, United 373 Heavy. United 373 Heavy, contact San Francisco Tower 120.5, take care. Contact Tower 120.5, United 373 Heavy, see you.
220
NorCal approach, United 1343 Heavy, 13,800 feet, we have Romeo on board.
Flaps 14 set.
United 1343 Heavy, NorCal approach, good afternoon, altimeter 2999er, expect the visual approach, runway 28 right.
Altimeter 2999er, expect the visual approach, runway 28 right, United 1343 Heavy.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, turn left, heading 310, vectors for the visual approach, runway 28 right.
Left 310, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
NorCal approach, United 1375, 1,200 feet with the number.
Flaps 25 set.
United 1375, NorCal approach, good afternoon, altimeter 2999er, expect the visual approach, runway 28 left.
Lights up left, check.
Altimeter 2999er, expect the visual approach, runway 28 left, United 1375.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, airport is at your 11 o'clock, 14 miles, report the field
There
in
it is.
sight.
Field in sight, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, cleared visual approach, runway 28 right.
Clear for the visual approach, runway 28 right, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
Before landing checklist. Spoiler and rudder test cards. Closed. Engine start switches. Set to flight start. Passenger signs.
So we're flying manual now?
Air compressor 3. Turned off. Altimeter. Set. Before landing checklist. Completed.
Alright, there we go. Plane's all set up. Let's turn on track IR for our visual height. There's the runway. You guys can see it there. It's right there.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, contact San Francisco Tower 120.5, see you.
120.5, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. Goodbye. San Fran Tower, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy with you on the approach visual, runway 38 right.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, San Francisco Tower, continue.
28, not 38. Stupid me. So we are using the ILS for guidance there. You can see that we are just about to intercept the localizer. We could use ILS approach if we wanted, but it is a visual.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, San Francisco Tower, continue.
Continue, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
United 520, contact locale departure.
Contact locale departure, United 520.
Could be a thing for San Francisco to have visual approaches, but there is an ILS there. Why not use it? It sounds strange to me. Could be an airport glitch or something.
Skywest 5707, number 1 for departure. Hold short of runway 1 left.
Hold short of runway 1 left. Skywest 5707.
Looking for the poppy lights. They appear to be fully red, but I'm so far away I can't really make it. Alright, let's slow speed.
United 373 Heavy, exit left at Zulu 1. Exit left at Zulu 1, United 373 Heavy. WestJet 1503, San Francisco Tower, wind 290 at 18, RNAV to mid-bay, runway 1 right, cleared for takeoff.
Gear down.
Runway 1 right, RNAV to mid-bay, cleared for takeoff, WestJet 1503. Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, wind 290 at 18, runway 2D right, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 28 right, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
Skywest 5707 San Francisco Tower, wind 290 at 18, RNAV to mid-bay, runway 1 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 1 left, RNAV to mid-bay, cleared for takeoff, Skywest 5707.
Don't make the mistake of landing on a taxiway, that's a big no-no. This should be on the...
United 1387, ready for departure, runway 1 right.
There you are.
United 1387, number 1 for departure, hold short of runway 1 right.
Full flaps.
Runway 1 right, United 1387.
WestJet 1503, contact NorCal departure, see you. Contact NorCal departure, WestJet 1503.
1000 check. There we are. Pretty well recovered if you ask me. Drifting left. Let's go
500 feet.
Check. There's a plane taking off right where we are approaching. That's not really a
300 feet.
good sight. Look at that.
Glide slope alive.
Minimum.
Continue. There you go.
100. 50.
Skywest 5707, contact NorCal departure, see you.
Contact NorCal
What a
departure,
smooth
Skywest 5707.
touchdown. Alright, reverse in.
United 1387, San Francisco Tower, wind 290 at 18, RNAV to mid-bay, runway 1 right, cleared for takeoff.
brakes, remember. Reverse is off.
707 Charlie Heavy, exit left at Quebec.
Left at Quebec, Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. Good question, which one is Quebec? I'm gonna go with a high-speed exit here. This is a big plane. Alright, let's clear the plane after landing checklist, please.
After landing checklist. Landing lights. Retracted and off. Strobe lights. On. Taxi lights. Is on. Starting the APU. Flaps. Up and no lights. Speed brake lever. Pull forward. Window heat. Is turned off. Probe heat.
We actually left at X-ray.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, contact ground 121.8, take care.
Set to standby.
Ground at
Engine starts.
121.8, Clipper 707 Charlie
Off
Heavy.
and guarded. Galley power.
United 809 Heavy, ramp 8 Alpha, request pushback.
Forward fuel boost pumps.
United 809 Heavy, San Francisco ground,
Aft
pushback
fuel boost
approved.
pumps.
Face southwest. Pushback
Off.
and engine start approved. Face southwest. United 809 Heavy.
San
APU
Fran
generator.
ground, Clipper 707
On.
Charlie Heavy, request taxi to
APU
company
bleed
gate.
valve.
There's no
Southwest
Pan Am
3551,
anymore,
taxi for
so
departure.
After
let's see
landing
what it
checklist.
takes us.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, taxi to gate Golf 8 via Tango, hold short of runway 28 left.
Taxi to Gulf 8 via Tango, hold short 28 left. Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy.
Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy, cross runway 28 left at Tango, taxi to gate Golf 8 via Tango, Bravo, Quebec, Alpha, Bravo, Golf.
Taxi clear to cross runway 28 left at Tango, taxi to gate Golf 8 via Tango, Bravo, Quebec, Alpha, Bravo, Golf. It's Clipper 707 Charlie Heavy. Right, let's go here for the
United 3771 Heavy, cross runway 1
Airport.
left at Charlie, hold short of runway 1 right.
Cross runway
Very
1 left at
complex
Charlie,
airport.
hold short of runway 1 right, United
And we got that bug
3771
again.
Heavy.
Gosh darn it.
United 2623, contact San Francisco Tower 120.5. Contact Tower 120.5, United 2623, good day. Southwest 3551, runway 28 left, taxi via 5 Bravo, Alpha, Lima, Foxtrot, Charlie.
Come on.
Runway 28 left via 5 Bravo, Alpha, Lima, Foxtrot, Charlie, Southwest 3551.
Not
United
this.
3771 Heavy,
Not
cross
this.
runway 1 right at 4, hold short of runway 28
Not
right.
this again.
Cross runway 1 right at 4, hold short of runway 28 right, United
I hate this.
3771
I
Heavy.
hate this with all my heart.
Delta 691 Heavy, San Francisco ground, pushback approved, face southeast.
Alright,
Pushback and engine
so we need to go via Tango
Heavy.
to Bravo,
United 809er Heavy, ready to taxi to the active.
then Quebec,
United 809er Heavy, runway 28 right, taxi
Right
via
here.
Charlie, hold short of runway 1 left.
then
Runway 28
Alpha,
right, taxi via Charlie, hold short of runway 1 left.
Bravo.
United 809er Heavy,
and Golf.
Jazz 558.
Bravo
request
probably
taxi to
down
the
there.
active.
If only we can see it.
Jazz 558, runway 28 left, taxi via Alpha, Foxtrot, Charlie, hold short of runway 1 left.
Alright, let's go.
Runway 28 left, taxi via Alpha, Foxtrot, Charlie, hold short of runway 1 left, Jazz 558.
These are the taxi lights. So let's first cross at Tango. Then probably the other side.
Jazz 558,
Yeah, let's
cross
do
runway
it.
1 left at Foxtrot, hold short of runway 1 right. Cross runway 1 left at Foxtrot, hold short of runway 1 right, Jazz 558. United 809 a Heavy, cross runway 1 left at Charlie, hold short of runway 1 right. Cross runway 1 left at Charlie,
let's
hold
make
short
a
of runway
right-hand
1 right,
turn
United
here.
809 a Heavy.
Delta 691 Heavy, request taxi.
Jazz 558, cross runway 1 right at Foxtrot. Cross runway 1 right at Foxtrot, Jazz 558. Delta 691 Heavy, runway 28 left, taxi via 5 Bravo, Alpha, Lima, Foxtrot, Charlie.
Runway 28 left via 5 Bravo, Alpha Lima, Foxtrot, Charlie Delta 691 Heavy.
United 809 a Heavy, cross runway 1 right at 4.
Cross runway 1 right at 4, United
right
809
here.
Heavy.
This is Quebec, good. This one's it. Then we need to go forward there. Yep. Let's go forward here.
United 3771 Heavy, cross runway 28 right at Charlie.
Cross runway 28 right at Charlie. United
This is Alpha, we're
3771
good.
Heavy.
Then we need to
United
go to Bravo.
3771 Heavy, contact San Francisco Tower 120.5.
Should be
Contact Tower 120.5, United 3771 Heavy, take care.
this one here. Can't zoom in.
United 1375, taxi to gate
Yeah,
Foxtrot
Bravo.
9er via Bravo, Kilo. Taxi to gate Foxtrot 9er via Bravo, Kilo, United 1375.
Then left. Others. I don't think this is the right place. Oh, there it is. Bravo. There's Bravo right there. So Bravo, and then should be one of these gates. One of these gates, actually. So it's going to be one of these gates here. So let's turn it inbound.
United 115 Heavy, contact San Francisco Tower 120.5, take care.
Contact
Gate
Tower
G8.
120.5, United 115 Heavy.
One of these gates. So there's Gulf 121, Gulf 12, Gulf 4.
Just 558, contact San Francisco Tower 120.5. Over to Tower 120.5, just 558, good
Gulf
day.
11. Gulf 8, this is
Horizon
the
Air
one.
2226 at the Charlie
Of course,
11 request
GSX is
pushback.
not ready for us.
United 809er Heavy, contact San Francisco
Because
Tower
Gulf 8 doesn't
120.5.
exist,
Have a
apparently.
good afternoon.
Over to Tower 120.5, United 809 Heavy.
This is Terminal 3.
Horizon Air 2226, San Francisco ground, pushback approved. Face southwest.
No Gulf.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face
So-
southwest. Horizon Air 2226.
We're screwed, aren't we? So let's see.
United
Terminal
1343 Heavy, taxi to gate
Pier
Echo
F.
11 uniform via Quebec, hold
No.
short of runway 28 left.
It's gotta be Pier.
Taxi to gate Echo
Terminal
11
2
uniform
Pier
via
Golf.
Quebec,
Oh,
hold
there
short
it
of
is.
runway
Golf
28
8.
left. United 1343 Heavy.
Let's go with Samsic,
United
whatever they are.
1343 Heavy, cross runway 28 left at Quebec, taxi
That's
to gate
it.
Echo
Let's
11
go in.
uniform via Quebec, Alpha. Cross runway 28 left at Quebec, taxi to gate Echo 11 uniform via
There's the
Quebec,
wing walkers.
Alpha, United 1343
New feature
Heavy.
from GSX. Now the wing walkers will welcome you and will follow your plane into the gate.
SkyWest 3216, San Francisco ground, pushback and engine start approved, face southeast.
There's the other one.
Face southeast, SkyWest 3216.
Right, what do we got? 707, correct. Turn left. Back then, there was no such thing as single engine taxi, and this has 4 of them. It's not really about economy.
Horizon Air 2226, taxi for departure. Horizon Air 2226, runway 1 left, taxi via Alpha, Mike 1. Runway 1 left, taxi via Alpha, Mike 1, Horizon Air 2226.
Stop. Parking brake set. Done. Here we go. Let's do the shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Air conditioning. Off. Engine 2, 3, and 4 turbo compressors. Off.
Southwest 3551,
Anti-ice
contact San Francisco Tower 120.5.
Off.
Over to Tower
Wing
120.5, Southwest 3551, ZU.
Engine bleed air switch.
SkyWest 3216, ready
Off.
to taxi to reactor.
Transponder. Off.
SkyWest 3216,
Weather
runway
radar.
1 left, taxi via 5 Bravo,
Off.
Alpha, Mike 1.
Essential power selected. Set to 8. Engine start levers.
Horizon Air 2226. Contact San
Taxi
Francisco
lights.
Tower 120.5. Contact
Beacon
Tower
light.
120.5.
Off.
Horizon Air 2226.
Emergency exit lights. Turned off.
United 1265.
Passenger
Ramp
signs.
Foxtrot 16
Off.
required pushback and engine start.
Fuel boost pumps.
The boarding
United
requested.
1265. San
AC
Francisco ground
auxiliary
pushback
pumps.
and engine start approved.
Set to off.
Face northwest.
Engine
Pushback
2 and
approved.
3
Face
hydraulic
northwest.
pumps.
United 1265.
Set to off. Shutdown checklist. Completed.
All right, welcome to San Francisco, guys.
Request pushback.
Let's go outside.
Delta 902.
And here we are, safe and sound at San Fran. And this was, the flight itself was uneventful aside from that flipping up and down. We are having some FPS issues. I think there's a problem with the scenery because our planes were landing with a visual approach. I need to check that. And
Passengers bus is coming.
yeah, this guy's gonna hit the jetway. There he goes. Not looking good there, buddy. Anyway, guys, my evaluation on this aircraft, my verdict, if you want, will be given in a nice little review I'll be making in the near future. Stay tuned for that. That door is not opening, by the way. Can we open it? Press. Oh yeah, we can. All right. So do expect that review to come in, and look at that. How much of a hazard is this? The APU exhaust is being projected downwards. Whoa, look at that. Remember, this plane doesn't have external power connection. This is the only way to power this plane. Look at that. Everybody crossing this little pit of flame. Well, it's not flame, but it's very hot gas. It's going to get a very bad day. But it is what it is. Old school, I suppose. And yeah, welcome to San Francisco once more. This plane, my verdict will be given, like I was saying, in a future review. I'll post a link in the description for anybody interested. But I like it. I like old school aircraft. I like flying these old birds. I like the challenges they face, they make us face. I like the fact the engineering panel is automated, but you can also go in there and dig deep and use it on your own. I like the fact that the plane flies very well, although it's very sluggish. I mean, it's okay. It's an old plane. You need to really be on a leading edge, always trying to not to panic whenever it gets a little quirky. But it is what it is. It works pretty well. I would consider this to... Oh, let me open those cargo doors. They're still closed. Let me go here real quick.
United 1812, taxi to gate Foxtrot 9er via Bravo Kilo. Taxi to gate Foxtrot 9er via Bravo Kilo. United
Open
1812.
everything. There it is.
United 9er 90 heavy.
Let's keep the
taxi
front
to the active.
door closed. So like I was saying, I would consider this to be a very, very cool bargain right now on the marketplace. Microsoft's Oh, don't run over people. Oh, that was scary. Don't be fooled by the price. It's $14.99, but this plane is worth every penny. It's an awesome bargain, and you get to fly an historic aircraft that's not been updated. It's actually been completely rebuilt. If you did buy the original Aeroplane Heaven 707 Famous Flyer 10, don't worry, you're entitled to this one. All you need to do is go to the MFS 2024 Marketplace and download it for free. If you're not a previous buyer and you want to buy it, like I said, $14.99 USD, and it's yours. And I think this is a very cool addition to anybody's hangar. If you like old school aircraft, you will love this one. If you like INS or old school VOR navigation, this is the plane for you. If you like GPS, you can also add the GPS unit or the FMS unit, but more on that on the review I'll be writing. So watch out for that review. I'll be linking it in the description once it's live. And until then, if you guys like what you saw, remember, leave a like, subscribe, And if you can, there's a link in the description for the Buy Me a Coffee page. So if you're willing and really wish to help the channel, you can also donate. Every money that's been invested so far, it's been on new add-ons, new scenery, new airplanes. And thank you so much for being with me. Thank you, Trexie. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Fulanito Flyer, for being here. See you guys next time. Until then, keep the blue side up. Cheers. Bye-bye.
The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drums begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soared into the